Alrighty, testing, 1, 2, testing. We're gonna go live with the waiting room. Alright, well. Oh. Alrighty, there you go. That's all the places that I wanted to post. Alright, it shouldn't be too long. The waiting room is open. We are just waiting until 7:30, and I believe that's when they're going to be dropping the draft. Unless they're going to do it before, I don't know. But welcome everyone to the live stream. It's currently about 5 minutes until the game starts. If music is too loud, do let me know, I'll adjust it. I believe they're selecting the side selection right now. Let me just clean my glasses real quick. This is gonna be an interesting cast. I was told to get the popcorn ready. Yo, what up, Slamoosh? Let me just update the scoreboard real quick. That'll be too long. Let's do this. Okay, so we've got DH Plume versus Tacos. So TNT Tacos. It's 0-0 right now. We're getting ready. Everyone's gonna have some fun. A coach revived. This guy is so under. So you can pay attention to him. He's gonna destroy. Okay. Yeah, I've played with Revived before. Yeah, had some moments of genius. But yeah, I will try and pay attention. I've been working on using the manual camera more, but it's a little hard when I'm in the heat of the action, I found. But slowly the casts are gonna get better and better. Alright. Okay, so it looks like we have DH. Do you want me to join you in close casting this game? Sure, if you want. Do you wanna take over like the analysis? I don't mind. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a back and forth. I'll add you. Give me just a second. Friends, add friends. Give me a second. It's not working for me. Oh, is it without the 5200 for your Discord? No, 6851. Oh, there you go. Alright, welcome. I guess I'll just, you want me to just share my screen or no? I can't hear you if you're speaking. Let me just lower the volume a little bit.
No problems. Let's sound check.
Yeah, sound check. Yeah, I can hear you well. Okay, no
Sound check.
worries.
1 2 1 2. There we go.
Alright, so I'm just gonna share my screen, I guess. Things should be fine.
Might have some of the player in my friend list, so I might be able to just join the custom.
Okay, sure.
If you want to ask Revive to invite you know, will know who I am. I'll DM it.
Yeah.
So English is not my first language, but
It's fine. To train some English casters would be nice, you know. Like it's like 30-1 in the Mamago Discord, bro. Like I feel alone every time I ask a question or whatever, bro. Like I feel like I'm gonna get hate hunted to death. It's like, oh god.
Some of your casting, it's pretty dope. Like I've seen you put a lot of effort into it, and it's really.
I do my best.
Fun.
I do my best. Alright, give me a sec. Let me just turn on the draft.
The English sheet is pretty small right now. Like, there's not a lot of English casters. I know I play cast some game too.
Wait, no. I guess you can just click on the draft link when you get here in the lobby. Give me a second. Yes. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. There we go. We've got that. Let's unhide the draft. Okay. Just make sure to hop in the spec.
There we go.
Alright, so this is my first time casting Division 4. I'm not too sure what to expect.
It's definitely on the lower spectrum, but there's some player in each team that you have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I've casted Div 2 before, and there are some people that will throw games, so I'm not too sure if I'm supposed to have expectations regardless of if you're a challenger or not, you know? Like, I've seen some really bad Baron calls, worse than G2 at Worlds, but hey, you know, like, it is what it is. Alright, so enough chitter-chatter. We're getting into the draft. We're on blue side. Let's see what Plume bans for the first ban on blue side. It looks like they're going to take the Draven away. Strong AD carry given what's currently meta. Looks like tacos are gonna take Jhin away from. Let me just see what these names are. I don't know if they're in order yet.
Good question. I know that Revive is their top laner. I know DH Napoleon was Elias before.
Yeah, no, Napoleon is the jungler. Okay, so it looks like we've further banned on the side of tacos. We've banned Ivern and Plume. Looks like they're focusing. Is it Zeus? Their AD carry for tacos.
Yeah, probably though. This guy's just a role swap before he was a top laner, so he might have a small chample.
Okay.
I think that's why they're targeting banning him.
Okay, so it looks like we banned on the side of Plume. We've banned Draven, we've banned Zeri, we've banned Nautilus, and now on the side of tacos we banned Jhin, Ivern, Thresh. All right, some very interesting bans. Probably more player specific than meta specific. When it comes to anything but Jhin and Ivern, to be fair, when it correlates to more competitive play, I want to say. Not that Nautilus hasn't been good, but the nerfs to the Warmogs has really made him a much weaker early pick as
If you send
this
a
point.
stat into the Mamago, Nardos is actually the most picked support so far.
That's the most picked support in the
So
Mamago. Okay. Well, I only got to cast a few games because some team captains don't reach out, so I can only do so much. But it looks like a
I think
Smolder first pick for the side of Plume, so they're aiming for a late game angle, unless it's Smolder mid, where we're trying to just play through the mid game. It's a very interesting first pick though. Has some pretty bad matchups notoriously available. But
yeah, and for what I've seen into the GGL, I know that's not the same league, but the most of the low elo player tend to prioritize like highly CC comp. So they just pick like champ like a Momu, champ like Mordekaiser, while point and click CC and can just like isolate the target to do some wombo combo.
yeah.
And we see this tendency to into the draft of Taco with the Hamumu pick into Jinx, like to heavy crowd control champion and an
To-
hyper carry.
Yeah, to be fair, ease of execution is really important in stressful scenarios because if you require a champion that's like really hard to play in a stressful situation and you fuck up because you couldn't like land the combo you were supposed to, it's easier to go with something that you can like hit a minion, press your ult, it's a giant AoE, and it just works, you know, like sometimes the nerves will get to certain players, especially as we get closer to playoffs. Okay, looks like Plume is going with Zac as their. I want to say it's a jungle pick. It could be a top flex pick. Of course, we did see it being a top flex pick in yesterday's cast where it had some disastrous results. But
Zach who can be played in 3 role too. You can play it top, jungle, and support in some case.
yeah.
So
Oh,
like,
the
heavy
Yone,
flag.
the Yone. Very, very busted champion. And I hear it's getting buffed. It's not good enough. What do you think about that, Uno? Do you think Yone is fair and balanced?
I don't know about that. This champ seems crazy to me. Like we saw him in the Word, we saw him everywhere. Every time he pop in solo queue, he has a crazy amount of win rate. But the champ is just so wise. He can like put him to safe place, do a ton of damage, can just auto you to death. The crazy R. So I don't know if that champ deserves a buff, but Riot knows some data that we don't. So
I really like the support pick here from Tacos. Leona is like a really good champion. I'm making sure Smolder doesn't have that easy of a lane. Of course, melee supports are fun for Smolder to play versus because it means easier stacking, but the threat of Leona being able to engage at any point in time with the threat of a Namumu gank can really ruin this guy's day. And it looks like
we
we're
see the
banning
team
top
look.
laners.
We
Yes,
see a
sir.
team for tackle like Ali CC com, and with DH Plume we see just like a Navy dive com with like the small ult, Zac going in, Yone R. So it's gonna be like 2 team who rely a lot of ultimate to execute. So will be harder for them to just like play around those ult.
Oh, the Ash ban is surprising. I don't think they understand that that's Smolder bot yet, unless the Yone's a top flex pick. But I really don't think Yone wants to leave the mid lane. I'll be honest. Most of Yone's good matchups are mid lane focused. There's a lot harder
might
time
be-
against bruisers that do a lot of damage. Looks like we're banning Mundo and Set away here on the side of Plume. And we banned Gwen and Ash. I mean, Gwen's a really good answer into a Mumu, if anything, but... Okay, Vex is a decent answer into Yone. It gets a little worse as the game goes on, because Yone tends to go grass plus like a bruiser style build before committing to crit. And normally only builds a single crit item, which is the shield bow, the best defensive crit item in the game. So we'll see how relevant this Vex pick is, as Yone is not Yasuo.
And they picked pretty quick too. Like they didn't over any other champion, so it was feeling pretty comfortable into the Vex pick. It's you have to know how to play her though, because when you don't have your fear, it's
Wait, they missed the
it's really
pick.
hard. They missed the pick. We'll
Okay,
talk about
looks like the pick is gonna be Mordekaiser for the. I wanna assume that it's Mordekaiser for Agor, because this draft wouldn't make sense if there was no top laner. Okay, so they're leaning heavily on the going in aspect on Plume. They don't really have any counter engage, but I mean I don't think that's what they're really worried about. And we're getting a Jarvan. Okay, so okay, is this
It's a Zac support.
It's a
It's a
Zac
I told you,
support.
three flex pick.
Wow. Okay, yo, that really caught me off guard. Not gonna lie. I don't
And
think.
now and now I'm scared because we
Give me
have
a second.
the only Jake's as a carry,
There we go.
and against a Zac, a Yoni, a G4 ult, there's no safe place for her. She has no mobility, only the trap to protect her, and it's gonna be harder and harder for her to just like be the hyper carry. She's gonna get focused in every fight, so Tackle's gonna need to find alternative win con, and we have the Scion for that, maybe for the split push threat, but against a Yone and Zac, I
I
don't
think
know if they're gonna be able to play a side like they need to, so it's gonna
I
be
think
interesting to see.
I think the Scion was a good pick in terms of trying to neutralize the Mordekaiser lane, because Mordekaiser really likes being able to abuse his target over and over again. But like with the Scion shield, Dorn shield, and the fact that Yon still does a decent amount of magic damage, it's safe to say that the Scion can itemize like a Spectre's Cowl first item and not be too worried about the dropping ganks. Because ganking a Scion is probably not a smart idea under turrets. Especially if you're committing your flag and drag.
Yeah, and I've seen Elias play G4 before. It's one of his most played champion. I'll say he's pretty good at it. So we played the QC Cup together, and he was spamming G4 back then. He was putting some crazy games. So it's gonna be interesting to see how well he does during the Mamago.
Yeah, definitely an interesting draft to go by. It looks like we've got a heavy engage comp on the side of Plume versus a comp that is looking for resets for their primary carries. A little low on damage on the side of TNT Tacos, but if that Jinx ever gets going, it could be the end of the game. We've seen it time and time again. The Jinx is like 1-5, gets a kill in a team fight, gets unlimited attack speed because of lethal tempo, and kind of just wins the game within 10 seconds.
Yeah, when Jinx is excited.
We are ready. Alrighty. So I'll let you do you. Well, you said since you said English is not your first language, I'll handle the play-by-play for like the team fights and stuff, and you can bounce off like analytical questions and commentary.
No problem. I'll just chill and
Sounds
be
good.
there when voice ran off.
Sounds good. Alright, my voice isn't gonna run out. I'm too good at this. I'm too good at this. I've been doing like throat exercise, like vocal exercises and stuff, and I'm looking into.
How do you find it casting like solo? I know that when I was casting, I rather cast like duo all the time, but it's kind of hard to sometimes like just fill up the time when you're alone. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be honest, there are some games where I am grasping at straws to try and find things to talk about, because both teams are, like, not doing anything until an objective spawns, and then suddenly it's a burst of action, the game's over. It's like, fuck, alright, I just had 5 minutes of me twiddling my thumbs while we were listening to music and stuff, you know, like... It just is what it is sometimes, but like sometimes there's this unique and interesting item choices, decent selection for runes and stuff. I mean, it really just depends the kind of team I'm casting. If you're casting a more like, I want to say, a competitive team with a flexible champion pool, it's always more fun for discussion. But if you're drafting a team that is kind of like the cookie cutter, plays the same team comp all year kind of strategy, it sometimes can be like a little bland, especially if they're losing. They're not going to be looking to make like redemption plays, you know, they're just going to be giving everything over. Kind of like what we saw at Worlds, you know, like there were some games where some teams were losing and they just seeded like double dragon, 6 grubs, first herald, and then they started playing the game. It's just like, what the fuck?
yeah, I mean they have to play for the power spike, and sometimes you have to like wait for those items. You cannot just fight everything, but it's like another level of discipline. You have to concede everything and just hope that someone make a mistake and you can bounce out of that, because like in pro blade every mistake just costs so much. So
being able to keep the mental in check is really important, because I feel like this happens to a lot of players, me included and stuff. Sometimes like a bad play happens because like you made a bad decision, and then like the mental completely collapses, and some games are like just unrecoverable if you like turbo tilt. So anyways, yeah, sorry.
You lose like every game you choose not to play. So
no, exactly. You have to play the game to try and win the game. That's 100%. You will not win any game you are not actively trying to win. Spectator delay is about to hit. I'm just going to go get some water. If you need to go get a glass of water, Uno or whatever, just let me know. We have 3 minutes before we hit a game.
It's all good. I have mine.
Sounds good. All right, I'm just gonna go get my refreshments. I'll be right back. So this may happen frequently during the cast. If I notice there's like something to brew and I want to talk, but you're talking, I may cut you off. And I do apologize if that happens. It's the autism speaking, not me, right? So.
Hey, it's your stream.
Okay. Okay. No. I'm just letting you know. If I accidentally cut you off to start like yapping about a team fight, just don't take it personally. Okay, like.
No, I know what it is to cast, and like you can have the full spotlight. I know what it is, and you know that something unexpected happened, and you have to cut me off. So I won't blame you.
Sounds good. And if this goes well, I really don't mind you hopping on for just about any cast that you're not busy playing in, because I know you're part of the Mamago, right? So
yeah, I'm playing in Div 3 right now.
Yeah, on A or B?
Oh, we're on the B bracket.
Okay, so we have Blossom. Okay. So you guys played yesterday.
Yeah, we lost pretty hard to that 189 team, and one of our players has a power outage. I don't know if that's how you said it, but they kind of forced us to start the match 4v5, so we lost that match pretty hard.
Ooh, that sounds awkward, but okay.
I don't want to go too much into the detail about it because
players' power runs out. That's pretty scummy. Not gonna lie, it almost it's not as bad as the JoJo Pune issue in NA where Mr. Poops can't show up to practice, but hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. Oh, we got some bomb battlefield. Let's go. Yeah, sorry. See, that's exactly what I mean. Like, you were about to start a sentence and I just started rambling. That's going to happen so often. And I hope it's going to create a fun caster dynamic, because it does ruin a lot of friendships.
Nah, man. I'm not like that. I know what it is. So.
All good. Just I'm putting the cards on the table before they show up, okay? Like you see the TF Ultimate.
I've got with Dexel also when he has autism.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned that before, and he was casting for us for the GGL, and the same problem happened a lot. And I was like, man, don't be mad about it. Like, it's normal. We just have to. We're talking together, and it's okay. Like, with somebody we caught each other off, and I'm perfectly fine with it. So.
Oh, 100%. It's definitely gonna take a while to build up a dynamic, but whenever you're free, if you feel like hopping on the cast or whatever, just send me a PM. I'll gladly let you on board. The ship does not discriminate. Though I will never be casting in French. I might have to cast a bit of the TFT tournament in French that I'm doing for Canard with Black, but there's gonna be a lot of English. There's gonna be a lot of English. All right.
And we're in, ladies and gentlemen. Good game.
All right, sounds good. Let's see where we're going. It looks like we're doing standard 5-point from both teams, but the Yone is it's just standard 5-point. It looks like we have Grasp in the top lane for revives. You're going to need to be stacking that health up in order to deal with this Mordekaiser's Leandries. I would love to see a Leandries first instead of a Rylai's, given the matchup, as it'll just be better for trading and overall survivability, but I can understand if Agor decides to go a more defensive route like Rylai's Crystal Scepter first item. It will delay his possibility to side lane versus the Vex if he does that though. I'm surprised we did not go Grasp on the Smolder. It is a known fact that the Smolder Q does proc Grasp. Not a lot of people understand that. If any part of the Q touches the opponent while the grasping is active or whatever, it will trigger the grasp.
If you want, you can like Control Shift and Z to unzoom a bit the map so we can see all the action going on.
Wait, you said Control Shift Z?
Shift and Z.
It's as zoomed out, or yeah. I can't make it any smaller unless I go in the settings and change the minimap scale.
So you can like unzoom it.
What do you mean?
Oh, there we go. It's okay. You fixed it. Sorry.
All right. Oh, my bad. I literally did not notice a change. All right, so it looks like DH had found tacos in the bush early on. Revive gets good trade on Igor. The level 1 damage from Scion is nothing to sneeze at. And looks like we have a defensive start from the Yone. He's going to be using his HP as a resource to try and make sure he can get some CS early on. Remember, Yone is full build once he has a Blade of the Ruined King and Berserker Greaves. Anything before that is not full build. I cast standing up, so sometimes it's going to be a little hard. Oh, it looks like the Elastic Slingshot gets a good hit on the Chaos Seric, and Zeus is getting really low. They're still level 1. The flash hit from Tarsi, the Ignite is going to be enough to take first blood. Unfortunately, it did not go over to the Smolder, but this is going to set Zeus behind. He was forced to flash away. He only has his barrier, but he is very susceptible to an Elastic Slingshot. And nice, a Fate, a Soul Unbound from the Yone. So I always get Fate Sealed and Soul Unbound confused. To me, it's the same fucking ability, but hey, it is what it is.
That's definitely not what you want to see to the side of the red side. You don't want to give kill to that Smolder and Zag, because Zag can get out of control and snowball pretty hard. So that's not the start of the game you want if you're red side.
Okay, it looks like the Elastic Slingshot comes in from the Zac in the mid lane. Good Jack is about to... Oh, he's forced to flash. But rather save his life than die. Because accelerating the Yone, as we've seen at Worlds, is not a good idea. The second those two items are finished, he pretty much wins the game for most teams. Alright. Well, I mean, with the fact that Zeus does not have flash, I mean, Tarsi doesn't have flash either, but the flap 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 is a really good ability to help him get away from the Leona. As while it does root you, the Leona will follow you, so if he's close enough to a turret, maybe Chaos Eric is going to regret using his Zenith Blade on Smolder. But let's see, do we get any backs? Yeah, okay, so it looks like we have boots and pods for the Jinx, and that's about all that was purchased for now. Amumu's about to take a reset. I probably think he did not have a chance to get a Scuttle in. Mordekaiser gets a really good trade with the Death's Grasp and Obliterate. Gets caught by the Bandage Toss into a fully channeled Q by the Scion. A second Bandage Toss forces the Flash from Igor. The Flag and Drag is not going to be enough to save Igor, but Napoleon is here. He's got to be careful. The Zombie Scion does a lot of damage to champions. But it looks like they're just going to walk away. Is Alucard going to be able to... Oh, the Flash! Flag and Drag forces the Flash out of Alucard. The Soul Unbound...
If you see the summoner usage, like, almost everyone burned their Flash so far. Only 5 minutes into the game, and they're after blood. Like, we have no Flash on anyone almost, except the Yone, so they're out for blood.
Do you know the average MMR standing for D4? The Division 4?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
The average ELO in Division 4, do you know what it's like? Someone's asking what the ELO for DH Plume is. I want to say...
Gold 3.
Like Gold 3 to like Plat 2? Something like that?
There's some Emerald player in there, like Elias is Emerald, so...
Okay, so we'd say about Platinum average?
Yeah, lower than that.
Okay. So about gold to plat average on average, Alex, if that's what you're wondering. All right, it looks like Mordekaiser gets another good trade in against Revived. Revived managing to get the Bombing Cinder versus a Blasting One. So it looks like we're still going Riley's Crystal Scepter. He is having a bit of trouble against the Scion, but things are shaping up. Amumu is going the build I do not like. I really hate Faded Ashes first on this champion. I feel like it does not play to Amumu's core strengths, which is the durability from Tantrum. Vex is still looking to finish the last chapter. We've got a Sheen for Smolder, and that's about it. Jarvan and Yone have not recalled yet. The Elastic Slingshot does not come out yet, but Jarvan is there to gank Zeus. We do know that Zeus doesn't have a flash. Let's see who they decide to lock in on. They knock up Zeus with the Flag and Drag. The Martial Cadence is enough to do damage. The flash from DH Water into the Super Scorcher Breath to take the kill. And a double kill with the Chewie landing on Leona, making it so that she could not get away. Yone is going to start struggling if he doesn't go buy an item soon. But I think Yone really wants to get at least Berserker Greaves and maybe something else. before
At
he
least he
gets a
won't run
reset.
out of mana.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so he's got about 1,500 gold, so I think he's waiting for at least maybe a long... Oh, the Shadow Dash comes in from Gojak, and because Kalori did not buy any items, he wasn't able to survive that. But the Yon still has his teleport. Unfortunately, Blue is Flash standing in place against a Vex. Unfortunately, when Shadow Dash connects, there's not much you can do to run away. It looks like the first dragon goes over to DH Plume. It is an ocean dragon.
That's where you see the difference in into the jungle experience. Elias putting a lot of pressure on the map, doing a play top, doing a play bot, securing dragon, playing a run objective, and Amumu's nowhere to be seen so far. He tried to gank top once, and the gank fall off. He ended up flashing away. So
Yeah.
you see the G4 putting a lot of pressure on the game so far.
In light of the defense for the Amumu, Jarvan is not really a champion that cares about his ultimate. It's nice when the Cataclysm is available, but just the fact that the Flag and Drag are two basic abilities, it's really all he needs to secure ganks. The Cataclysm is really just the icing on the cake when people don't have Flash. Because it's not going to do much damage, at least for the time being. Let's see what he's purchased. Let me toggle off the gold graph. It looks like is that an Eclipse or... I can't tell if that's an Eclipse or a Sundered Sky. I get those two items confused, but it looks like the Zenith Blade connects from Chaos Sarek, and Alucard is here for a gank. Smolder has Flash, but DH Water doesn't. Mom is called out, but it looks like we're going into... there was no passive because of the tower dive. I forgot that the Zac passive had burnt out, but that's a good redemption kill on Alucard. It would have been nice to see it on the Jinx, but it's nice for them to relieve a bit of pressure in the bot lane. It looks like we're going... what is this? I don't know what the Zac is building, honestly. I haven't seen Zac support since like Season 5. But hey, Yon is making good progress towards the Blade of the Ruined King, and that's all that really matters, ladies and gentlemen. The Q gets interrupted by the Death Grasp for Sion. And he has it on a really low cooldown, so let's see if the momentum can carry over from DH. Kalori taking some really bad trades. Yes, sorry, what's up?
No, I said I think I missed an opportunity with the Amumu because he has his ult up on the gank bot side and just leaves Smolder leave. Like, we did not use that ultimate to secure 2 kill, so he ended up just taking the Zac.
Yeah, it does feel like the Jinx was really far away. So I don't know if the investment in Curse of the Sad Mummy was a good idea. But hey, he has it for the next follow-up gank, and he's down on gold. And Gojak taking a good trade onto Kalori. Kalori looking to come back. The elastic slingshot into the Fate Sealed with the minion. The Shadow Dash is coming out. The Curse of the Sad Mummy's gonna be able to be there to secure the kill against the Yon, and that's a double kill for the Vex. That's horrible on the side. Gojak already had an advantage against this Yon. But now it looks like the lead's going to be fantastic. The Flash Cataclysm after a flag and drag by DH, showing us the power of Jarvan. The Revive really just wanting to clear the minions. Yeah, when you're 200 HP, you're within EQ Flash ult range from Jarvan. That's, to give you an example, ladies and gentlemen, that is almost 2 screens away from your current location. So there is not much outplay potential you can do unless you get the Jesus Fear out of the Jarvan ultimate.
So the game is even now.
Yep.
Like
Looks
like
DH Plume is still up about 700 gold, but things are taking a turn for the worse. Let's look at the gold lead in the mid lane. There's now an 800 gold lead. There's an 800 gold lead for Tacos in the mid lane, but there's a 900 gold lead for Smolder in the bot lane. So it about evens out. And Sion, surprisingly, is 500 gold up on Mordekaiser, something that you're not expecting to see. The Elastic Slingshot and the Let's Bounce come out, but there's not much to see. Alucard's going to drop. Napoleon takes yet another kill. Tazy finds out why Vex has no friends, and he's just there bullying her with fireballs. Revived is trying to do something, but the Q3 from the Yon forces the flash. The Zac Q almost keeps Revived in range so that he can't get away. But Sion does not have his ultimate. I believe he used it. at that fight. Another elastic slingshot into Flag and Drag Cataclysm, but DH Water is going to force into passive, of course. Unfortunately, the Scion does bleed over time and will not have enough HP left. But that's 2 plates secured for the bot lane. A good trade by DH Plume with an objective, with some good objective control. But that's some money put into the Jinx. It looks like she should go in the Collector Lethality build. We'll see if she is investing in a second lethality item once it is completed. We'll have to see. But the Mordekaiser isn't going to be in a position to contest. This Hollow Radiance is going to make the Scion pretty much immune to the Mordekaiser damage. Without the burn passive from the Faded Ashes upgrade item, Mordekaiser is just looking at a med pack that he's not going to be able to heal off with. Okay, the bandage toss comes in with the Curse of the Sad Mummy. The traps aren't enough. The Zenith Blade connects. The Daybreak, and Vex takes the kill, getting a massive shutdown on Jarvan just in time for Dragon. Tarsi gets kit. English, please. English, please.
Let me English, please.
Yeah, let me English,
pretty
please.
intense game so far. Like action back and forth, and we see at the top side Revive force uses his ultimate. During this time, we have
the Fate Sealed into the Elastic Slingshot means that Zeus gets caught unaware, and the Soul Unbound means that the damage left over will be enough. Elukar trying to make it out to kill Tarsi, but Gojak manages to escape. Another Elastic Slingshot with Mom being called, and the Super Scorcher Breath will be enough. Is Agor going to take Revive into the Death Realm? No, I don't think he is. But that was a beautiful team fight from the side of DH.
Kalori. What a great introduction to Division 4. They just fight all the time. Even number, odds number, they don't even care. They just want to fight everything that is in front of them.
Let me make a segue. Have you heard of the LPL? Crazy is our game. This is what we're casting right now. We're casting the LPL challenger scene. It looks like the Death Realm is going to be enough from the Mordekaiser. The Malady of Metal is going to be enough to take down Revived. Revived having a bit of a struggle time in this top lane, but now the Smolder is fully online. He's got almost, he is not going to get a Manamune. Interesting. Alright, the Flag and Drag into Cataclysm combo by Napoleon just for some damage, just a flex on Zeus. Unfortunately, we are going super squishy Jarvan, so if this game goes past 30 minutes, it might be a bit of a rough time for Jinx, but it'll be a rough time for Napoleon if he gets caught by a Vex combo.
And one thing we're going to have to keep in mind is the Smolder stack right now at 99 stack, almost at 125, the magic numbers, before he get his execute.
Okay, Gojak and Kalori taking a nice trade, and Gojak living by the skin of his teeth. Had one more auto connected. Oh, we are in Fate Sealed range. Fate Sealed is almost off cooldown. It's not safe to be here, Gojak. Oh, you want to run away, and looks like just the Yon W is going to be enough to take the kill. DH Water with his Q on the ward. The E doesn't come through. It's just there for touristic regions. Alright, Revive taking another fight with Agor, but this time, the Hunting guys is really strong. The Scion ultimate comes out, but the Malady of Metal is making it, so the Scion can't really fight back. He's just burning to death. Oh, the flash from the Mordekaiser to make sure the Malady of Metal stays awakened. This Mordekaiser is really starting to abuse Revive up in the top lane. Looks like we have a Blade of the Ruined King for the Yone. We've got the Triforce on Smolder. We've got the Eclipse, and soon, the Fate Sealed comes out, and with the very tippy top of the skill shot, the Bandage Toss misses, not saving Chaos Eric. Kalori goes back in, but the Zac gets killed because he does not have his passive anymore. Reminder that Zac passive is about 4 to 5 minutes. Yeah.
Again, complete domination of DH Plume. They're all everywhere on the map. They're putting pressure, and they're snowballing right now. Like they're just taking kill after kill, objective after objective, tower after tower. They're not letting any plays for DH Water.
And they're playing a team comp that normally starts to spike in the mid game, but they started spiking in the early game. They had a really good trade level 1 on the side of the bot lane for DH, and they kind of just kept that momentum running. The Jinx pick is really not working out against this Smolder. Maybe we're gonna have to see some draft adaptations. towards
Yeah.
games number 2.
I'm not a fan of the Scion build right now. Yes, he is a lot tanky, but he does no damage, and Mordekaiser has the Riley's complete. So now every side lane play Scion do, he can be slowed and just be like slowly killed to death because he has no mobility and no damage.
It looks
to,
like we're
revitalize.
looks like we're launching the Herald in the mid lane, and we're going to use the charge. So there's a lot of Void Grublings. The second charge is going to it looks like we're driving the Herald bot lane to go towards Dragon. Where's Napoleon gonna drive it? Napoleon having some good driving skills, getting it all the way to the bot lane without it hitting a wall, which is pretty good. But Igor is putting a lot of pressure in that top lane. The curse of the bandage toss lands. Zenith Blade connects on DH Water. Los Tacos kind of missing every skill shot in the game. Gojak escapes. Kalori takes a really bad trade, but I don't think it matters that much at this point. Igor gonna try and proxy farm again. Looks like we've disengaged on both sides in the bot lane, but this Cloud Soul Point is getting ready to be contested. And Mumu uses his Q to get on the minion. But I believe they want to try and get some priority on the Dragon. A teleport coming in from Kalori, who's almost done his Immortal Shield Bow. Kalori at this point in the game is much stronger than the Vex is. And it looks like Tacos are forced to back off. A good trade by Revive and Igor, but, Mordekaiser can start healing using his shield off cooldown. This no damage build from Scion. Yeah, I do agree that it kind of sucks that you didn't build damage, but the biggest problem is if you don't build damage on your DH Water. What? I'm casting in English. I'm not gonna say Iau.
I'm the one saying DH Water. You said DHO.
Oh.
She's laughing at me.
Fair enough. Okay, it looks like Zeus gets caught in the Death Realm. Is it gonna be enough? Oof. There's no burn effect yet, but Mordekaiser is gonna find someone. But Grojak gets a nice juicy shutdown, forcing the teleport because the Yoda's applying pressure in the bot lane. We don't want to lose another turret. A Super Scorcher Breath. And a Chewy comes down and lands on Chaos Eric.
And once again, every kill goes to Vex. 5 kill out of the 8. So Vex is going to be really huge. We need to find around her. We need to play around our ultimate. When Vex is not here, we're like really weaker for DHO.
Yeah. At least a good thing is that Tacos were able to get some grub, so it's not a 6-0 comparison. The Flash is forced out by Revive, gets slowed by the Shielded Masia, and are we going to see cooldowns? Another flag and drag is enough. Oh, Revive gets smited.
Can he make it to the wave?
No, he does. Oh, it looks like he is going to make it to the wave, but it looks like Baron is up. Amumu's sad that he has no friends and no blue buff at this point in time, and there's nothing that he can do about it. Baron Asher has spawned, but it looks like Napoleon changed his mind, finishing the Sundered Sky and his Merktrez. He is positioned to take over this game. The Immortal Shield coming in for Yon is great, because now he is officially more than full build. He is almost super full build. We've got the Riftmaker on the side of the Mordekaiser, so now he can start healing during his trades against the Scion, who is basically just a giant medkit. And it looks like Tacos are positioning to get some vision control around, but Ellicott just goes in on DHO, and the Shadow Dash comes in on Napoleon, but there's not a lot of damage. The resets aren't coming through. The Super Mega Death Rocket hits DHO, but it's not enough. Oh, the first reset, but Jinx... Oh, it's not a... Oh, okay.
Jinx gonna get excited.
Yeah, Jinx has to get excited. The Mordekaiser is just going to take her to the dungeon downstairs. Oh, looks like there is... was there a mini pause? That's a little weird. There was like a stutter in the game frames. But Kalori gets an inner turret for free. And Chaos Eric took a bad time to take a trade against Tazy. How many stacks does Tazy have, by the way?
It's almost at 200 right now, so close to finishing his execute in 195 right now.
Give or take another like 5 to 7 minutes, and he'll have his thing online as long as he prioritizes the wave. But there's not much damage here on the side of DH. If this Yon doesn't make it, they're not going to be able to finish. But
And I'm quite
Grudge.
surprised because it seemed like DHO as the fight lead, and they just crumbled after that. Jinx was
The
not
fate
implying to the
sealed
retard.
with the soul unbound. Yon is going to be able to find the execute. Napoleon is here, and they can continue the Baron. Igor, unfortunately, not being able to heal much when his damage is cut in half, but it looks like the bot outer has been claimed. The objective bounty has been claimed. The bandage toss is going to miss once again from Alucard. Not a fantastic showing from this jungler in game number 1. Maybe we're going to see some adaptations for game number 2.
Yeah, it seems like the game is pretty much over right now. Smooth organized execute. We have Baron secure, except a miracle from the red team will be pretty hard.
That's interesting. I'm surprised to see an Essence Reaver on Smolder. I would have thought Shojin was more of an answer. It looks like Kalori found revived yet again, but the Soul Unbound is going to make it that Young cannot trace to the ends of the earth. He is eventually going to have to call back to his soul position. Elucard working on something, I guess. He's got a garage sale going on in his inventory. Same thing with our Zac. But we're nearing 3 items for Smolder and 3 items for Yon. It looks like the Infinity Edge is going to be the next item to fully turn his passive on. For the people that don't know, Yon and Yasuo gain double crit strike chance from items. And once they're at 100%, any extra crit chance, it gives them additional AD per a sudden ratio. Gojak is going to go in. Forces the flash, dodges the obliterate, but it looks like Igor's not going to be able to do much. Really nice. Oh.
And Leona took the kill.
Leona took the kill, which is really bad for TNT Tacos, but it looks like Kalori is able to just wipe the floor with revive. Poor guy. He's got the unending despair, but with no real armor items, it feels like he's not going to get much done. Napoleon here to secure the Cloud Soul with Tazy and DHO. But the Mordekaiser is going for the Leandries. I really like this item on Mordekaiser because it synergizes so well with the Malady of Metal. But let's see.
We have a 3k goal lead into the Smolder right now, and he got his execute, so...
Yeah, this game looks like it's pretty Jover. It seemed like a draft diff from the start. Oh, the Flash Cataclysm from Napoleon forces the Flash Barrier from Zeus, and it looks like the Ignite plus Zac is going to be enough to take it out. The Flag and Drag onto Grojak. Oh, the Elastic Slingshot gets cancelled. It looks like Napoleon may have bitten off more than he can chew. Chaos Eric takes yet another kill. This Leona is out for blood.
Yeah, and the fact that this G4 go down, they don't have that much of an engage, so it's gonna give a little bit of room to breathe for DHO and maybe get control of the map. But the Baron applying so much pressure, they have to clear the wave and try to get back on the map. The first tower mid is not down yet. We have to work towards that if we're on the red side and we need to take that tower.
Yeah, notably, for the Vex, we have the Shadow Flame and Luden's Companion finish, so that is a good start, but it looks like they're going for Zona's Hourglass, a very expensive item, and the fact that they're down quite a bit of GP is going to make it a little harder, but Amumu finally finished his Leandries and his Hollow Radiance, so he's got something going for him. Jarvan's almost done I want to say that's a Spirit Visage, given the components. Amumu missing the fact that he doesn't have any camps to farm. It's pretty sad for the sad little mummy. It looks like Kalora is going to try and go in on Revived. And then the Soul's going to time out. But that's half of Revive's health bar. And there isn't much regen on the side of Sion.
And there's a 2-level lead compared to Yone to Sion. So it's pretty impossible for him to match him.
Okay, the Death Grasp plus the Flag and Drag means that Gojak can't really get away. He used his flash the last time, another Flag and Drag to knock up the Vex, but there's not much damage. And never mind that, Igor doing a lot of damage. Looks like Leandries was indeed a good item choice, but it's not finished yet. We've got another Flag and Drag, nice combo with DHO and Mob coming out. The Death Grasp into the Obliterate is enough to take out the Jinx, and Chaos Eric is just gonna go down the Obliterate. The Execute plus Obliterate combo from DH Plume is really nice. And it looks like Sion is having a hard time defending. The top lane inhibitor turret is going to die. Kalori just going ham on Revived. But it's not going to be enough to kill the Sion. DHO is looking for the Sion. Is he going to find him? Nope. Unfortunately, there was no flash. Oh, there was a flash, but there was no flash committed to secure the kill. This looks like a clean Game 1 victory from the side of DH Plume. A very dominating style. Unfortunately, the collector opportunity build really makes it so that Jinx's strengths aren't highlighted as an 80 carry.
Yeah, the lethality build for Jinx, I don't know if I'm a fan of it. She's 1 and 7 and she does no damage so far. She has to take a reset before doing any damage, and our team is not able to guarantee any reset so far. So the pick and the draft of DH show his weakness when they're behind. Maybe if they were ahead, it would be a different scenario. But so far, there's pretty much nothing they can do to go back into the game. The level on the goal lead for I don't know, the blue team is just too far.
Yeah, it looks like we are gearing up for the last team fight. Alucard's gonna walk into Igor, and Napoleon's gonna have something to say about it. The Elastic Slingshot plus Obliterate combo is enough. Mordekaiser's is on a rampage. Man is fed out his ass. And he likes that. Looks like the Flying Dragon to Cataclysm combo with the Let's Bounce from the Zag. Zeus goes down once again. Mom gets called to pick up the scraps, and the execute from Smolder is gonna be enough. Revive gets dragged back into the dungeon, and he's not allowed to go outdoors to play with his friends. Alright, looks like a convincing Game 1 win from the sides. Yeah, alright, no worries. I'll remove the DH from your name. I just figured it was easier to say DHO than just O. But that's going to be the end for game number 1 as we head into the lobby for game number 2. What a devastating performance on the side of Tacos. Unfortunate is all I will say. Alright. I don't know if Napoleon is watching the stream. I'm just going to type ready for... As we get into the champion select, as we get ready to get into the champion select for game number 2, I believe currently we are still settling on, side selection. It looks like TNT Tacos is going to be taking the blue side for game number 2. Can they bring us to a game 3? Hopefully with a little bit of a smarter draft adaptation. It'll be up tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Oh, yeah, I decided to stop publishing my VODs just because it really does hurt the YouTube follow-through views afterwards. But yeah, no worries. Oh, I'll just call you O from now on. All right, you too, Uno. No calling him DH Water.
Oh, that's not the right team. I might have mistaken them then.
No, empathy. You're in the team chat. Like, why would you be in important? Important is for casting, and like then there's Canal, who's just Canal. Like, don't worry about it. The only people that are added here are people that invite me to custom lobbies for casting. Did you get invited to the lobby, by the way? I don't think so.
I did not yet. I'm talking with Revive about the draft and what I want them to do for next game. So there's nobody drafting for them, so I'm just giving them tips and advice about what to do when banned for the next game and what I want them to do. So that's why I'm not super focused, but I just want to say that the draft might change drastically on the side of the Revive team for the game number 2.
Okay, no worries. And there's a little bit of an intermission anyways in between games, normally like 5 to 10 minutes, if anything at most.
And I don't know what to say more about this game. It was
it was a macro stomp from start to finish, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, it was even like 5-5 at some point. Then they're just like starting to do some fight outnumber, and DH Plume just went away with everything and just ramp up, snowballing their lead. And a lot of it is because they were able to play everywhere on the map. This Zac put so much pressure everywhere, like as a support. The fact that he can roam and really play with the G4, who was the jungler, and like the duo jungle and support was putting so much pressure on the map everywhere. Lost Tacos was just not able to follow up with only the Amumu with no mobility, and the Leona was pretty slow on the map. So I figure out they're pretty much gonna ban Zac next draft maybe, unless they want to ego it again and just run it back. But they had some pretty good chance to win the game with the Vex, who was on a lead against the Yone, but they didn't manage to just focus on that lead on the side of the Lost Taco.
Yeah.
And I want to see a better kind of pick on the red side this time. The Cyan against Mordekaiser was just not it. I know that Revive some better pit. He play a lot of Set. He also played Darius, so don't believe
Uno, can you move down
the red side league.
to the
Yeah,
spectator?
people will be down.
Yeah. No worries. Alrighty, looks like we're getting ready for draft number 2 with TNT Tacos on blue side. Hopefully we're going to see some draft changes and maybe a different change in the pick and bans. But let's see what we have going for us. The draft hasn't started yet. I believe we're waiting on confirmation for both teams. Looks like TNT Tacos is ready. Alright, looks like all 3 parties are ready for the draft, so we are about to kick it off. Let's see what we get as a first ban on blue side, and more importantly, because Tacos has blue side first pick, we'll see what importance they put probably in the mid lane. I want to say that Yone was a pretty big problem. Looks like we're going to be targeting the 80 carries once again. Tazy and Zeus being forced off some of their more comfort picks, but the Smolder from Tazy looked really clean. Some really good moms and a chewy combos. But
I think a lot of it was due to the Zac, though. Zac made such a huge difference against their draft that Smolder just have to like call mom and just collect the kill. But yeah, we'll see. And they're not changing the ban that much. Jin and Trash ban again on the side of TNT Tacos. And I'm not a fan of them picking blue side because I think in the low elo, the counter pick top side is really important.
Yeah.
Because if you can get your top side ahead, it's really helping up just securing grubs and some major objective on the map. And for them taking blue side, that means they have a pick that they want to pick first.
It looks like the draft English is hard tonight, I'm sorry. It looks like the draft adaptation, I can't speak English anymore, fuck me, has come through. The Smolder ban that wasn't banned in game 1, that led to a really disastrous early game, has been banned. Looks like we're going to be banning Nautilus once again on the side of DH Plume. So let's see what this first pick priority is going to be. I really did not like the lethality Jinx build. I feel like if you're going to build a lethality 80 carry, you might as well go an 80 carry that doesn't want to build crits. Instead of just picking a crit carry. But it looks like Alucard was comfortable on the Amumu, going back at it once again. Maybe we see a little bit of a toss-up on the build this time. Maybe things are going to be a little different.
Yeah, and it's a big giveaway just first picking this Amumu. Maybe we want to flex support this time. But just giving the information to DH Prim what we want to play in the jungle is a big deal, and we see the answer right away for
Napoleon.
For Napoleon, sorry. With the Ivern, we just like mitigate a lot of the impact that Amumu has. Yeah. So it's gonna be hard to see
at least in terms of kill pressure, Ivern compared to Jarvan has a lot less kill potential. Sure, the roots are nice, but there's a lot less damage backing up the combo. It's going to be about 100 damage compared to like the 600 damage peak that Jarvan normally provides on an EQ auto, normally with red buff. But maybe we're going to see a little bit of a draft change here for Plume to take better advantage of the Ivern draft itself. Looks like we're going to be locking in Malphite, probably for Revived. Aiming to probably just have a better pick ban for the second round of bans to make sure that something like that Mordekaiser doesn't really come through, because there's a lot of really bad matchups for Malphite. But the Seraphine is interesting. We do not know if she's 80 carry or support yet, but the flexibility of that pick might make the bans going through the second rotation a little harder. Let's see what Plume is going to be taking for the third pick. They're just going to...
Go for the
I,
Tamkench.
I,
Tamkench support.
I'm not a fan of Tahm Kench into Seraphine.
Uh,
I feel like you should never draft engage against Seraphine. Because
yeah, you want to
she...
know what I think about this draft? I think
Mm-hmm.
Malphite will be mid against this Yone,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's and yeah, wherever this Yone go, they're just gonna send Malphite to match him. Even though we don't have a classic mage, it has been a known counter for Yone, so maybe they feel comfortable doing that,
Yeah,
and just the presence of the R combo.
yeah.
But that's my expectation because we if we just pick Malphite and we don't ban Mordekaiser, it will be a disaster once again. We see the stuff that Mordekaiser did to that Scion, it will be even worse against the Malphite.
Yeah,
So
but Malphite is one of those tanks that if you build tanky, you actually deal more damage because Malphite has armor scaling. Poseidon has a bit of HP scaling on the HP ratio for the shield. The shield doesn't do any extra damage. That's only AP, but that's troll if you build AP on Scion, to be fair.
yeah, and as we see, they think that it's a Malphite mid because they banned the Set and the Mundo, two of the well-known champion for revive,
And we're banning
and
two good anti-AP counters in the form of Gwen and Mordekaiser. Here, hoping that... Jeez, I forgot the name of the top lane. Oh, Agor has a little bit less of a destructive early game, as he had a pretty nasty presence, and it didn't help the fact that Kalori was already super far ahead in terms of the game itself, as no matter who the Scion was laning against, there wasn't much they could do. Alright, I like the Ashe here. It's really good into champions like Seraphine. Unfortunately, Malphite does exist, but there are worlds where Tahm Kench just presses R and Malphite also Tahm Kench and nothing happens.
yeah, really a mobile champion as the Ashe. So you have a couple of ultimate that could really punish this lack of mobility on the side of TNT tackle. And like I said, it's a Malphite mid, so the bamboozle us. It's gonna be a Yorick top for the side of Revi, really
Okay.
playing into the splitting push that he was not able to accomplish last game. So they're focusing a lot into that 4-1 kind of draft that did not really work the last time, but now they adapt and maybe they're gonna make the change that allow Yorick to just put pressure on side lane. And
Okay,
we
looks
have the
like we're gonna
Vayne.
Vayne Seraphine. A very interesting combo. Not one that I've heard a lot of, particularly, but Vayne is pretty decent into champions like Ashe, just because of her consistent damage output. As long as Vayne can dodge the Ashe ult, she's fine to win the trade. But we'll see if it comes in. It's probably going to be a rough early game for the side of Plume bot lane, unless Ivern camps. But we saw that Elcard was more Oh, it is a Tahm Kench top lane. Okay,
Interesting.
interesting. I would have liked Tahm Kench support for the fact that they have the Seraphine, they have the Malphite, but making it so that Tahm Kench can go Heartsteel first item, which is likely the route to go, is going to allow this Tahm Kench to actually be able to deal back some damage. It is slow starting, but... I think if we get to the mid game and the Tahm Kench is not behind, he'll be able to manage the Yorick in terms of Yorick really likes pushing because his ghouls and his maiden, that's all they do. There's not really an option to say stand by. They follow you anywhere. You do have the option to deploy the maiden, but without your ultimate, Yorick isn't really the same. Champion. That percentage health damage you get from the maiden and you damaging the same target or whatever is really nice
Yeah,
for the
and we're
Yorick.
gonna see like the comfort for tacos. They pick some champ that they feel comfortable, and maybe it's gonna make the difference this time because they're pretty much all on their main champ, or at least champ that they played a lot. I just looked their op.gg, and most of them played those. Even though the draft seem a bit wonky, like with the Seraph and the Vayne, they on all champ that they know, and I think it's gonna make the difference this time
Yeah. I think in
for
this
the draft.
I think in this current elo bracket, I'm a firm believer that player comfort is more important than champion mechanics. So while we do have a champion like Vayne, who is one of the harder 80 carries to play properly, you get the late game, and there's enough late game threats on the side of tacos that a Yone might not be able to manage everything. 'Cause,
Definitely gonna be
there
interesting.
is no magic damage on the side of Plume besides Ivern and 50% of what Yon does. So this Malphite might just have a field day going full armor. Guys, his W and his E, like his empowered auto attacks and his E, are going to do a substantial amount of damage in the like the full combo um,
Yeah, it's
aspect
gonna
of
be hard for
Malphite.
that Ash to just survive it, but we have the Taric that can that the ultimate of Taric that can mitigate disengage power. And the lane's gonna be rough though because Taric don't thrive into double range matchup. Normally you like to do that against Nautilus or Rel, but he's gonna have to roam a lot or maybe leave Ash alone against the double melee character. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they play the lane.
Okay. I would have almost expected, at least from Taco's side, because they already had heavy AD in terms of like the Malphite plus your combo, to just go like Seraphine and another enchanter or something bot lane, make it really hard to start like the force team fights. Something like a Lulu could have been disgustingly annoying for the Yone to have to deal with because you fate sealed in, try to do your full combo, you just get polymorphed and then you die.
Yeah, but once again, comfort is
Yeah,
everything at this event.
comfort is definitely king of this elo. Drafting is not the most important thing as long as you're not drafting full AD into Malphite.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it
if
happens, but hey, it's not as bad as drafting full AP into Galio.
Yeah.
Those
If
ults
TNT
become disgusting.
Tacos want to win a game, it's definitely that one.
Yeah.
And DH Plume hasn't lost a game yet.
All right, so
I just saw the
they are
stat.
currently 5-0, 2-0 in matches, but currently 5-0 in games. So they have not even headed to a game 3 naturally. So we'll see if the momentum they can carry from the prowess they had in game 1 and their previous matches is going to be able to convert into a 2-0 sweep. I would hate for it to be a 2-0 sweep because as a caster, I'm always a fan of maximum games. But after casting 9 Worlds games in a row, yesterday, yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
I wanted some time off. I did not get any time off. Like goddamn, the VOD was 8 hours long. I felt like I was going to die.
Did you enjoy it though?
Yeah, I hated to see G2 kind of just throw their series away by trolling game 1, but hey, I mean, it happens. When you're an EU fan, you can't have any expectations. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the quarterfinals starting on like this week? Like this Thursday, I think?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be some interesting matches, but I'm really glad that it's down to like one match a day. And
You know
God,
what? I kinda like the condensation of the match hole for like 2 to 3 games a day was pretty much like enjoyable for me to watch, and the rhythm slowing down for the ward is just I don't know, it's kind of lacking in power.
Alex, they take the tournament draft because I believe it's in the regulations for the Mamago esports season. All matches have to be conducted the same way. And I believe for the divisions that Apex is sponsoring, normally you're supposed to use the Apex esports.gg, but I'm not too sure which divisions that applies to. I know
I think
for
it's
specifically sponsored
especially for
teams.
Div3.
Yeah. Because I know when
Yeah,
we
so
did.
Alex, this league is they collect data from the game, so they have to collect data from the bans by the Riot clan. That's why they do it this way. This way they're able to collect all the data from the game, and we're able to scout team very well because of that. So that's why they do that.
Yeah, because without this specific way of playing the game, setting up the game, the bot wouldn't have the correct statistics, and if you can't count on percentages, you can't use statistics as a measure for your whatever esports like stat sheets they're using for. This is mainly also just for like the fantasy drafts and the overall like points total and stuff that they do use to calculate, because without this format it'd be a little harder to get into the game properly.
The fantasy draft is only for the Division 3 though, so they're
Oh,
using
that's
the
interesting.
stat for.
Okay, yeah, no, the stats overall for the league, but I mean, it makes sense to use the stat spot for the fantasy draft or whatever, like it helps instead of just looking at win lose, right?
Yeah.
Because
Also, like,
there's more points than just win lose or whatever. I believe it's like how good you CS, how often you die, how many kills you get or something.
EDA,
Yeah,
goal per
exactly. So
minute.
like there's a lot of important stats that at least the bot helps track them all, which is
Maybe I
nice.
can send them the link to the Mamago set web. They're gonna be able to see everything on it. Let me link that to you, Alex.
Yeah, if you want, you can put it in the chat. I don't have Nightbot set up. Unless the auto mod's gonna catch it, but I don't think.
Oh yeah,
Oh
they
yeah,
deleted it.
yeah. No worries then. I'll empathy. I'll send you the website later if you want. No worries.
They're taking the draft, not the draft world data. They're taking the game data.
Yeah. Oh, but DraftLol is just like a free-to-play website that people can use to like do drafts, like for in-houses, scrims, and stuff like that. Apex is the sponsored premium version of DraftLol. In a
It's
sense.
definitely a better version
Oh
to be
yeah. No,
less
no, no.
fun.
100%, 100%. But this like DraftLol is literally just a free to play sourced website, a free to
Yeah,
use
Apex
source.
is just less known, but
Yeah,
it's rising. It's rising. I've seen some English team using it. I think it's what last day. They were just we were screaming in the English team, and they sent us an Apex link. We were like, "How do you know that?"
nice. It's good to see local technology. I'm pretty sure Apex Esports or whatever is like located in like Quebec or whatever. So it's nice to see some like local sponsors, if it is local. If not, it's just good to see sponsors in general. Alrighty, looks like we're about to get into game. Some nice skins from the side of both teams. Basic Ivern skin. It's kind of sus. But we've got the grasp on the Yone and on Grojak.
And the first thing I noticed is the Yorick with comets.
And the
Uh,
comic Yorick is probably just an indicator that we're going to see Lethality push Yorick instead of the standard Triforce Bruiser style.
we'll see if the adapt is built towards it instead of Rune, but I've never seen Revive play this kind of Yorick, so it's gonna be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, um, I guess it's really just to mitigate like the horrible early game that Tom Kench gives his opponents, like especially in the melee matchups. That tongue lash plus the fact that he's going to heal so much off of it can be a bit of a pain early on. Of course, it gets a little better once the maiden's out, because then you have the little ghouls and the maiden to like block the one skill shot Tom Kench has. But yeah, I'll have to see about it. Interesting to see the junglers both be in the mid lane just taunting each other. I don't really think it affects their route, but it's definitely something interesting to see. Not something you see that often, to be fair. But the Ivern is probably just going to queue over to a camp, set it up, and keep going.
There's a lot of teams that love to send the jungle mid for the 5 when this way they don't give away which side they start at. So by starting mid, instead of the mid laner, that give away the option of starting bot side or top side without giving information to the enemies. So it's actually smart for the both jungler to do that.
Okay. Looks like Zeus is experiencing some ping issues. It's surprising to see the Amumu not start W, but he decides to start E instead. Not a bad choice, but it's a little mana intensive early on. It does save him a lot of HP, to be fair.
It's
Alright.
the fastest way to start at the Raptor camp for Amamu. The fastest clear is with an E start, so
Oh yeah, no,
because
no.
all the Raptor attack you and reset the cooldown of it.
Okay, looks like Rojak and Kalori are going to be trading grass procs. There's not much impressive damage that the Young's going to be able to put on the Malphite as long as that Granite Shield is up. Um, and we do already notice that Malphite has gone through like 80% of their, like about 70% of their mana. Um, it's really important to not be using your mana too much, as you know, mana potions one aren't a thing, and two, um, Yon having access to a very early shield that does a decent amount of damage. A good poke coming out from Revive using the Graveyard Ghouls as a way to avoid a turret procs.
Yeah, and mana's gonna be a problem for Growjack. It chose to start with the Darn Shell, so his regeneration of mana is less than if it would have started with the Darn's Ring.
Yeah.
So it will have to push this.
Oh, Alucard looks like it's a gank is coming mid lane, but oh, and Tazy have rotated up. The flash is going to come out for Alucard and Grosjean, but unfortunately the Q3 from the Yone is going to be enough. Tazy takes first blood. What an interesting roam from the bot lane, just abandoning the pressure that they had with a wave. But that gold is going to make up for it. The Vayne wasn't really farming during that time because there wasn't anything to farm. Revived, putting the baby cage down, but Napoleon's gonna get a gank in. Looks like he's trying to find the root collar. Igor connects. The bush forces some extra range, and Igor's gonna be able to get a flash tongue lick to secure his kill in the top lane. Feel bad for Revived investing the flash and dying. It's always not a fun time for the top lane. The plays are starting to go pretty badly for Tacos already in this early, and that's what we saw last game that led to a detrimental advantage towards the mid game.
And once again, this came up just for a lack of respect. They have all flash on, and they choose to use it all of the last time. So, DH are
oh, the flash from O securing the stun onto Zeus and gets pushed back by the E on Vayne. I forget the name of the ability if you don't mind just checking that from me real quick.
Lost TNT tackle just has to put some more respect into Plume. They have to solidify this early game. Don't give kill early like they did the last game, and just allow the enemy team to snowball.
Yeah. Because especially a big problem, a good thing that Yone did not get the kill, because as soon as Yone gets accelerated, things get rougher and rougher, and Revive normally is supposed to be a lane bully, but if you let this Tahm Kench just get item leads for free on you, things are going to get more rough, because as long as he's in lane, you're not touching that turrets. Oh, the nice miss coming in, forcing the Abyssal Dive from Igor, from Revive, for Revived early. That's good. Revive having a little bit of trouble finishing off some minions, and a Soul Unbound from the Yone is going to look for a play, but unfortunately doesn't connect with the Q3. Revive hit level 6 though, and Yorick, a fun fact, Yorick can solo grubs really fast if there's no vision covering it. And the Maiden does so much damage, and for some reason the Maiden takes like no damage from grubs. So Yorick is basically invincible at grubs. Alright, a nice trade. Grass Prog in. Alucard is gonna look for a bandage toss, but it doesn't land. Kalore instead starting to do a lot of damage. There already is no flash, and another Q comes in by Kalore to secure the kill on Grosjean. I'm not too sure this Malphite counterpick is working out in the early game, but the Yone is starting to develop a decent lead. There's already no teleport. Alucard forced to hold mid, but rotated up because Ashe can handle a Vayne early game. Some more toilet water thrown by the Yorick. Kalori really trying to get some plates.
And Kalori just like putting a lead. He buy a call, so he knows he's safe against this Malphite. He just want to put like as much pressure as he can. Just farming up and getting gold to get a lead against
and
this
Malphite. With that early kill on the Vayne, it also means that this Ashe almost already has a static shift. That is devastating in terms of being able to have pressure, because if the Vayne is constantly pushed in until she gets to that like 1.5 item power spike, she can't respectfully take a lot of CS while not taking a lot of poke. So it's some really good plays. The Abyssal Dive coming in by Igor, but the baby cage comes out with the Maiden. Some toilet water. It's not gonna be enough. The damage onto Igor is huge. But the shovel almost misses, which could have been really bad for Revived. A good thing the Maiden was still around, but that damage was stacking up. One more tongue lash, and it would have been Jover, as the kids say. A nice combo here by Kalore. Yeah. The Tacos really needed some momentum reset. They're still down 2,000 gold, but I'm pretty sure Big Jack can can tempo it out in the mid game once he gets his first armor item. But that Blade of the Ruined King is going to be a pain in the ass. Oh, and Daisy are helping Napoleon secure. Kalori is watching, trying to scare off this Amumu, but the Amumu is just doing his Krugs, really trying to not fall too far behind. The fun thing about Ivern is the more levels you put into that damn champion, the faster he clears jungles. At level 16, it's almost like, what, like 7 seconds or something before he can take a camp? Which is insane, and if a camp is marked, he can instantly take it away with a smite. So...
And I just wanna say that the Amumu adapt is built to the enemy comp this time. He went for the Bambi's Sunfire first.
Very respectable, very respectable. Because like
that's a smart decision of him.
Yeah, the biggest problem normally with like the AP Amumu build is especially if you're getting bullied at objectives. I mean, it's great and all to deal damage. The beat drop comes out, but the stun from Tarek is gonna be enough. Tazy has his ult, but the Abyssal Dive comes in from Agor. It looks like we're switching up the perspectives. The stun against Yorick. But Agor is feeling the wrath. It looks like we aren't going lethality. The stun on Tarek once again onto Chaos Tarek. The ignite is gonna be enough, and Tazy this time says, no, it's my kill. Stop kill stealing. Alright, but the bandage toss is... Oh, what a nice turn of events. Unfortunately, forcing the flash onto Agor. And... I think there was a bit of a miscommunication by Agor and Napoleon, because they were kind of going both ways, but the Fate Seal is going to drag both. Sadly, the Fate Unbound is going to run out of time. There's not enough toilet water to help DH. You get that? But Zeus is just going to go down. Tarek's like, no, this is my kill now, bro. And... what a disaster for the bot lane on Tacos. The Encore's gonna come out, and Grojak invested his teleports, but it's not gonna be enough. I believe Grojak also just flashed too. The toilet water comes out, but it misses Kalore. Yeah, York is very low though, but Amumu is standing by, but I'm pretty sure like an EQ3W auto combo is gonna be enough to kill the Leon. Unfortunately, takes a turret shot for himself. The ghouls are going to be enough to dissuade Kalori, but this time the Enchanted Crystal Arrow is enough to go in the Abyssal Dive with the Yon and the Root Color. Kalori lives on like 5 HP, but Agor, you know, throwing out the fist bump as he's like,
would have been an execute though.
Yeah, it would have been an execute indeed, but it was indeed pretty funny. Looks like DH are starting to pick up some momentum. That was a really nice Ashe ult from bot lane. The static shiv already being finished means that Tacos are going to be struggling to get priority in the bot lane. There's a lot of HP being built on the Malphites. And the CS gap is closing, but we still see there's a 700 gold lead in the mid lane. However, there's almost a 1600 gold lead in the bot lane for the Ashe. This is really, really bad. As an accelerated Ashe, normally, you know, we complain Ashe does no damage, but that's when Ashe is behind. When Ashe is ahead, she's a crazily good champion. The Dazzle comes in. Tazy is forced to flash over the bandage toss, but Revive found some people that he did not want to find, and it looks like Napoleon and Agor are just going to start bullying. The Abyssal Dive comes in once again. Napoleon this time takes the kill, and Kalore will help DH secure 6 grubs, and that can be pretty devastating when you have a side lane Yon. Tazy and O are bullying Alucard away from his jungle, making it so that he can't come back. Oh, takes the giant chicken for himself.
And that's pretty impressive for the DH team. Like, they put so much pressure everywhere, forcing the ultimate of Malphite to go away, securing the Void Grub, pushing Amumu out of his jungle. It's just a pure domination. All that came from one factor, is the fact that TNT does not respect the strength of DH and try to fight on number.
Yeah. It looks like it's a pretty big team diff here both times. It just looks like DH is more composed, and they came in with a game plan that they're working pretty well. Also, the communication aspect on the side of DH is pretty nice. It looks like they're not going to go down without a fight. Maybe taking a bad trade early, but it looks like now they're doing fine. Zero Grub Yorick feels kind of sad. The toilet water is going to connect onto Agor, but the Maiden's just going to get shot down.
And we have to protect this Maiden at all costs of the side of Revive. He does not want this Maiden to go down.
Yeah, now Yorick without a champion, without his...
He's not a champion
anymore. Yeah, he's not really much of a champion as he doesn't have access to it. Like, Tahm Kench without his ultimate is like one thing, but Yorick without his ultimate, there's like no damage. Absolutely no damage. And Agor here now stabilizing that he has the Heartsteel. These massive physical procs are going to be annoying, but Agor has to watch out. Revive still is a Yorick, and Yorick does a decent amount of damage given a Sheen, but it looks like the Inferno Dragon's just going to go over to the sides of DH. But, oh, once again, bullying Alucard, this time with the help of Calore. Let's see, forcing the Flash, the Dazzle into the Fate Sealed, and it's going to be enough, but the Curse of the Sad Mummy and the Q free from the Yone helps secure the kill onto Alucard. Chaos Sarek is going to throw the Encore out, but the Tarek ultimate is going to be enough to keep him safe. But now they're in a bit of a pickle. The Dazzle comes out, but it goes wide. The Malphite is here with the Unstoppable Force into the ground pound. The empowered attacks are enough, and that's a double kill for the Vayne. What a tragic misstep on the side of DH. But Tazy gets a solo turret. Unfortunately, doesn't get that fifth plate.
Soloing this rift right now.
Yeah, the Revive does good at taking objectives. Remember, Yorick does a lot of objective control, but this Tahm Kench some mistimed on the communication to spit out the Yorick. But it looks like Revive is just going to die. There's no jungler nearby. Napoleon's coming. There's gonna be a smite, and now Grojak is about to go down. Like he went to Pound Town. Ash is gonna take. Oh no, Agor's like, I'm the carry. My kills.
Yeah.
A nice root collar to channel the Herald into the mid lane, and we're gonna see Helios, Napoleon's driving skills. It looks like
where's he going?
Where's he going? All right, looks like Napoleon wanted.
A bit.
Looks like Napoleon really wanted to play Crash Test Dummy Simulator. A beat drop coming out from the Seraphine, but there's not much damage in this bot lane to be done. At least the Blade of the Rune King was finished. Malphite did pick up his Sunfire off that trade, which is really nice. The Yorick with Eternity Force is going to start to do stuff. Agor's going to start wearing off, but he's got a lot of HP to work through, and if that Maiden isn't available, look at Calore now abusing the fact that he has 6 scrubs plus coverage by 3 of his teammates to ensure that he can put a lot of pressure. The Abyssal Dive coming in from the Tahm Kench, but Yorick is just going to herp-a-derp bonk the turret with his shovel, and he's going to be like, this is my plaything. Now Agor just standing there beating the shit out of the Maiden. If the Maiden dies, the Fate Seal comes out, and Zeus gets caught. Is there more follow-up? That's a 3-man Unstoppable Force by the Malphite, but Grojak has to walk out. Zeus gets caught by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Chaos Seraph is unfortunately murdered once again. The Root Collar and the Iron Shield, there's no respect at all from the side of Tacos. They're not respecting the teamfight prowess. The Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to come out, but O is doing a good job. That's a nice Tahm Kench ult. Bojack, no, under the turret, unfortunately. Oh, okay, can they manage to kill? They have to keep attacking, and that's oof. Napoleon almost goes down, but through the help of the redemption, there was a possibility to save Napoleon, and they don't lose a single member for that, besides O, who unfortunately got tagged by the bandage toss at the edge of the turret. But
Falling Septum, I'm kind of impressed of the level that DH are showing us right now. Like they don't look like a Division 14.
Yeah, for a
They're
Division
showing
4
some great
team,
things.
yeah, for Division 4 team, this macro makes Yuzu, Blossom, and DH League Club sometimes look kind of bad. But hey, I'm not here to talk shit. I mean, of course I am, but hey, it is what it is. Anyways, we've got Zeus and Chaos Eric with Revive in the top lane right now. There's not much to play for. Mumu trying to get some of his jungle camps. Once that Dawn Core comes out for Napoleon, things are going to take a rough turn. I feel like this is gonna be another yeah, well, okay, an even rougher turn, but I mean, like, we go from buying the tombstone to burying the dead at this point. This Yone is huge, but not gonna lie, this Ash pick from Tazy has had some wonderful ultimates, really helping set up some beautiful catches. But we can't take away from Kalori's Yone. Really been playmaking. It looks like we're setting up a Fnatic Death Bush down here in the bot lane. Will it be found out? Kalori is fighting Revive. The baby cage gets thrown down with some water. But looks like, just finds Alucard and says, it's time for you to die. And will it be enough? The Curse of the Sad Mummy comes out. The Unstoppable Force onto the Ash with the bandage toss. The Encore hits 4 people, but there's no damage on the side of Tacos. The Blast Cone to save Grojak ends up killing Chaos Eric by launching members into... Revive is stuck under the turret.
And that's just to show how good they are, like, as individual player. They win every lane, and they just snowball that into side lane and advantage. They're moving on the map faster. They're better individual player, and they're making Tacos look bad. But it's not even that they played that bad. They just make a couple of mistakes, and they just don't let them breathe. They're just like choking them, taking all their camp, putting pressure on the Amumu with no mobility. So every time on the game, you have nowhere to play, you have nothing to, no objective to play for, and you just like slowly bleed and dead resource.
That's a nice bandage shot onto Kalore. If we don't have the Fate Sealed, can he fight his way out of this? It just looks like we're gonna get a Q3 over the wall. Alucard doesn't have any bandage sauce charges left, and Kalore's just gonna walk out of it unscathed. He didn't have a flash, but he had his teleport. But now he doesn't get punished for it. Yeah, the thing is, when you get outplayed at such a heavy macro diff, it really makes it hard to want to come back into the game. The draft on paper was decent. Just taking the entire camp away from Alucard. Alucard being pushed out of being able to do any camp at all. There's so much vision control on the side of DH. You'd think you're watching like a Division 3 game, at least from this form of macro, but it really shows that when a team gels well together, the things you can do. A lot of the plays that have allowed DH to take a massive lead. Huh? Sorry, what?
Oh, sorry, my game reset somehow.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
There we go.
Yeah, a lot of the plays that DH have been able to make. It looks like the Abyssal Dive is coming in from Alucard. He manages to take his red buff, but he's getting eaten by Agor. The redemption damage is going to come through. There's 3 people on Agor, but I don't think he cares. The Vayne comes in a little late, but the shutdown is going to happen on Zeus. Zeus getting a bit of money, but I don't think it's going to matter much at the end of the day. What I wanted to say is the level of coordination from these plays really shows that they're in sync with what they want to do. And they made a lot of plays that normally wouldn't work from the solo queue-esque style that we see in a lot of these Mamago matches.
And you know what? A lot of that came from Elias being on the team. I think he's a leader, and he's he's talking a lot during match. So
the Enchanted Crystal Arrow into Fate Sealed is going to be enough to take out Zeus. Zeus dead once again. They're just running off at this point, trying to survive, but it's clear. It's clear that there's just a communication diff. Unfortunately, when a team is out of sync compared to when a team is in sync, that's a really nice combo. Napoleon goes down, but Napoleon's the support, essentially, on the team right now. He's not there for damage. A really nice all-in by the Tom Kenj, and he's so tanky that he can just tank hundreds of turret shots. Well, maybe not hundreds, but like he took at least
And
like
the GG's drop.
yeah, the GGs are dropping. So it looks like Tagos knows that this game's going to go down for the count. But yeah, no, the leadership and shot calling skills from Napoleon really do shine through in the momentum that they're able to get. It really does show the difference that of like having a leader versus not having someone who's vocally there guiding his players in the team fights. It feels like the Plume players can just focus on playing the game instead of being forced to do any of the managerial duties. And anyways, I want to thank you guys for joining me in this quick 2-0 by DH Plume. Thank you, Uno, for hopping on into the voice chat to join the cast. It was fun having you around. If ever you want to do it again or whatever, or when I launch up, you can just shoot me a message. I'll let you know when we play. Yeah, GG's. Very well played by our hometown heroes, making me proud as they finally take home a W. The other DH teams could learn a thing or two from the quality of coordination plays. But anyways, we'll see you guys in the next cast. I don't know when it is, but you'll see it in the DH Discord the day it happens, if anything. If not, I'll see you guys for the TFT tournament this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. As always, it's a pleasure casting, and we'll see you guys in the next one.